Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this one, we are going to look at Azure Monitor and we are going to do the lab from AZ500 Azure Security, and this is a lab from Microsoft Learning available on GitHub. Now if you read a little bit of this description, Azure Monitor, it maximizes the availability and performance of your applications and services by delivering a comprehensive solution for collecting, analyzing, and acting on telemetry from your cloud and on-premises environment. That means you can use this service for both your on-prem and cloud, and not just for the cloud. And it helps you to understand how your applications are performing and proactively identifies any issues that you may have within your infrastructure. So in this particular lab, we have two main objectives: collect data from an Azure Virtual Machine, and the second one, use application insights to monitor your website. So the first thing that we're going to do, collect data from Azure Virtual Machine with Azure Monitor. Okay, so the first task is to deploy an Azure Virtual Machine to monitor. So if you read this a little bit, the monitor can collect data directly from Azure Virtual Machines into Log Analytics Workspace. So you take the data and put it in a Log Analytics Workspace, and then you connect the monitor to the Log Analytics Workspace for detailed analysis and correlation. So you need to install a Log Analytics VM extension for Windows and Linux, and that would allow Azure Monitor to collect data from the virtual machines. So we're going to see how we can configure and collect the data from your Azure Linux or Windows virtual machines using the VM extensions with a very few easy steps. Okay, so let's see. We go to our Azure portal, and what we are going to do, we're going to open up our Cloud Shell, and we're going to run this command using the Cloud Shell over here in the web version. Okay, the first thing that we are really running is this new easy resource group name, my resource group, location is to us. So this one should create a resource group named this and in this location. So let's just go over here, and we are here, and I'm going to paste this command and hit enter. So that one, it says succeeded. So that means that operation, the command that I just ran was good, was successful. Okay, I'm going to remove some of the files that I'm not using. Alright, now in this particular resource group, I'm just going to deploy one virtual machine, and the command is new azvm, and the same resource group name is going to be my VM, location is the same location, and it's going to create a virtual network. Within that, it's going to create a my subnet, and there's going to create a my network security group, and it will create a public IP address, and it's going to open the port 80 and port 3389. So let's just copy the whole command and come back over here again and run this command and hit enter. And it's asking for user name, so let's just say Azure user, and I'm just going to provide a password, and it's just going to deploy this virtual machine momentarily. So while this is going on, let's come back over here and see what's going on. So here you can also use the local admin as the username and this password. I just used Azure user as my user, and I use my own password just for security purposes. The next task is to create a workspace, and when I say workspace, this is really a log analytics workspace that I'm going to create. So if you come over here, let's see what happened. Okay, so this one was, I had a policy that I created to stop different type of SKUs to be deployed. So give me a second, let me disable the policy and we'll redo the deployment. Actually, it might be good for you to even see what I'm doing. I'm just going back to Azure policy, and I'm deleting my policy assignments that are associated with virtual machine SKUs. So delete few more, and let's see, I should have under prod. So I have multiple subscription, I have policies, and let's see if there's any other allowed storage account. Let's just get rid of that one as well, and I show another one for the SKU. That storage account. So it looks like it's good now. We should be able to deploy. So let's see, come back over here, and I'm just going to rerun my command, and again I'm going to go with Azure user, and let's see if this deployment is successful or not. No, still I have, okay, so now this time our error is difficult, and it's saying I'm over my regional quota request. If you see this one, that means you probably have too many virtual machines already deployed, so you got to get rid of something. So over here you see I have a whole bunch of them. So what I can do, I can delete some of these. So let's just see if I can delete from here. Now I gotta go in there and delete some. So let me just delete that, and then I'll come back and restart. Okay, so now if you see that I have only one machine running, everything else is deleted. So let's try out this command again. Now I typically keep this troubleshooting in my video so you can learn and see how to solve problems with your Azure. And this time Azure user again, and so once you start deploying, it will take you some time to go through and read all these error messages, but once you're a little bit experienced with the type of error that you get, it will become second nature. You will quickly be able to see, yeah, okay, this is my problem and how to fix it. And it will take some time for you to get there, but trust me that you will see these problems and you will be able to fix it. Now look at that. So now I have this virtual machine deployed properly. So if I come over here and refresh, hopefully I'll see one other VM, my VM. Okay, so we have done that. So the next thing that we're going to create a workspace. Okay, in here we are going to search for the log analytics and create the workspace. So come over here, look for log analytics, and log analytics workspace. Let's see, log analytics workspace. I have one. I'm just gonna create another one. Let me make sure. And you gotta. It's a very simple and standard type of deployment. I'm just looking for if there's a special name. Yeah, this is the name that I want to take. The name is my workspace demo, and we're gonna deploy in East US region. So come back over here, hit create, and it should give you the very standard experience. Resource group is, where is my resource group is the one that we're using, right? My resource group, and in this one name is what, and we're going to deploy to East US. So come back over here, East US, make sure that's correct. And pricing tier, let's see which pricing tier we want to select. Pricing tier as per GB is what we want to create. So pricing tier per GB 2018 is fine, pay as you go. So the next would be your tags. Let's see, tags, you don't really have to do anything. If you want, you can. So let's come back over here, tags, let's say some tag, and then review and create, and it should create that particular log analytics for me. So let's hit create. So we have done two tasks. The first, we deployed one virtual machine, and then we created the workspace. Now we are kind of getting ready. So next thing, we got to enable the log analytics VM extensions within the virtual machine. So what we will do, for Windows and Linux virtual machines already deployed in Azure, we can install the log analytics agent with the log analytics VM extension. Okay, if you use this extension, it simplifies the installation process and automatically configures the agent to send data to the log analytics workspace that you specify. That agent is also upgraded automatically when a newer version is released, so you don't have to worry about the update management for that particular agent either, ensuring that you have the latest features and fixes. Now to do this, you have to make sure that the VM is running. So we'll go back to the log analytics workspace, go to the workspace that we created, and then we're gonna look for the virtual machine. So over here, the deployment is done for the log analytics workspace. So we're gonna click on the go to resource. So this is the my workspace demo, and it says this is the log analytics workspace, and we are going to look for workspace data source is a virtual machine. Okay, so here we are going to see it is going to show the list of virtual machine, and the VM should be not connected because we haven't really connected anything. So if we come over here, there's a demo VM01. This one I actually previously installed, looks like, so that one is connected, but this one that I just created, it's not connected. But this one is connected to some other workspace, not this particular workspace. So my VM is the one that we created. So you wanna click on this one, and you gotta click on the connect button, and that should connect this my virtual machine to our log analytics workspace. Okay, it says connecting. So let's come back. So again, detailed virtual machine, select connect. The agent is automatically installed and configured for your log analytics workspace. This process takes a few minutes, and during this time the status shows connecting. So over here, connecting. So in a few minutes you will see that it will show up, and it will say that yeah, log analytics is installed, and you have connection back to this log analytics workspace that we have just created. Now, so we have done few things. We have created a virtual machine, created a workspace, then from within the workspace we have connected the virtual machine to our workspace by installing the log analytics agent. Now the next thing is collect event and performance of a virtual machine. So your Azure Monitor can collect events from Windows events logs, or if you're using Linux, it's going to use the syslog, and performance counters that you specify for longer term analysis and reporting, and take action when a particular condition is detected. Now what do we need to do? So if we follow these next steps, we can configure a collection of events from the Windows system log and Linux syslog, and several common performance counters to start with. So over here, what you will do, we'll go to the advanced setting, and under data we're going to go to the Windows event log. So let's see where we are over here. It looks like this one is now connected, right? So this says status this workspace. So if I go back to the my workspace demo, it says that my VM is now connected to this workspace. This one, as I said, this was already running, and I corrected to the other workspace that I already have, but this one looks good. So over here, what we need to do, we need to go to advanced setting. So advanced setting, and within advanced setting I should see data. Okay, so in this data, so you can get all these type of different logs back to you. So Windows event log, Windows performance counter, Linux performance counter, IIS logs, custom fields, custom logs, syslog if you're using a Linux machine. Okay, so lots of different options that are now available to you. So let's see which one we're going to use. You add the event log by typing the name of the log, type system. So it's so we're gonna go to data and Windows event log first. Data, Windows event log, and then go to agent configuration, and in here add Windows events log, and let's system. So this is the system log. Okay, so again you see there are so many different things that you can add. So here I'm just adding system. You can have error, warning, or information, all three types. So let's see which one we need. So check the severities, error and warning. So they're saying okay, error and warning you take it, information you don't have to worry about it. So and you come back over here again, and then select save at the top of the page to save this configuration. So over here we come back and do apply, and that should save the changes, and we should start getting the Windows event log to our workspace that we have configured. So again, collect Windows event log data from the standard logs like system and application, or add custom logs created by application you need to monitor. So we have completed that, and next let's do some performance log. So if you come over here, so we are here event logs, we can go to Windows performance counters. Let's see what we need to collect. In this one, when we first configure Windows performance counters for a new log analytics workspace, you are given the option to quickly create several common counters. They are listed with a checkbox next to each. So if you come over here, hit add performance counter, and you see the thing has changed. Now this time it did not really give me a group of things that I can quickly select and add. So I have to specify what I need to monitor. So over here it looks like mostly we are interested in logical, like disk and memory and processor, then system. So over here let's try disk. So here are your logical disk. So let's just get the logical disk. I wish I could get more. Add performance counter. Yeah, I think I have to just do it this way, and just do logical disk. Okay, maybe I'm just gonna do the free time, and then let's just add a couple more, and let's just CPU. Is there any good CPU let's just do monitor first. I mean memory. Okay, so here are a lot of different type of memory that you can get. Memory available here is what I need. Available bytes, and what else did I see that I thought might be interesting? Processor. Okay, let's just do those, and not here, from here, processor. Okay, let's see what if I get a processor here. Processor time. So that should be good enough. Okay, if you want, you can keep adding a bunch more as well. For now I'm gonna say apply changes, and then those are added to our log analytics. And then the last thing would be to view the data that we're gonna collect. So over here all of that is done. If it were a Linux machine, then you can come over here and do stuff. If you have IIS enable, you can connect the IIS logs over here as well. So let's just come back over here to my workspace demo and finish the last thing. So in here, now you have enabled the data collection. Let's run a simple log search example to see some data from the target VM. So what we need to do, we need to go to the logs, and then on the logs query page we just do perf, and that should give us the performance, you would think, right? So come over here, and under general go to the logs, and in here, let's see, in here, if I can, query language, I'm just gonna get rid of this. This is taking me to a different place. Alright, queries, get rid of that, and I'm just gonna run okay, there are a whole bunch of queries that are predefined in here that you can run, but I'm just gonna write a new query, and I'm gonna run it. Alright, to run it, what I'll need to do, I just need to close out this particular window where I have the preset queries. I'm just gonna close this one, and over here I'm just gonna put the perf, and let's see, let's hit run, and it just says no results from the last 24 hours. So we still haven't got a lot of information in there. So let's see what we have here. So this query is the following: image returned 10,000 performance records. Your result will be significantly less due to the VM having only been run for a few minutes. So typically if you're running for a long time, you will have a lot of logs, but since we are really not running, we're running just for a little bit, you're not really seeing too much information. So what we will do, we'll maybe run this query in a little bit. Let's just continue with the second part of this exercise, where we are going to monitor websites with Azure Monitor Application Insights. Now with Azure Monitor Application Insights, you can easily monitor your website for availability, performance, and usage. It's very good to quickly identify and diagnose any problems or errors that you have with your application, and you don't have to wait for a user to report back to you. You can just figure out the problem from the monitoring that you are doing using the application insights. And it also provides both the server side as well as the client side monitoring capabilities. So that's very nice. Now this exercise guides you through adding the open source application inside Java SDK, which allows you to understand the client side, browser side experience to visitor to your website. So let's see what we need to do in here in general. So it looks like we are creating a HTML page, and then configure the app inside SDK. Okay, and then we are gonna start the monitoring using the Azure portal, and it should start giving us some information. So let's just go over here and start doing some work. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create a new resource. Okay, and this is going to be the application inside. So let's just copy this application insights, come over here and paste this, and you see the application insights, it's came up. So I'm just going to click on that one and create a new deployment of this particular resource, and the name, just a globally unique name. So I'm just gonna do, okay, resource group is it the my resource group? Yeah, my resource group. So let's just copy that one, put the my resource group in there, and name is cloud security training, and let's put it in STUS again. So let's come back over here, STUS. And do you want the classic mode or the workspace based? Let's see which one. It just doesn't say anything, so I'm just gonna go with the default options and just create the particular it's actually also asking workspace detail, and which one do you want. So what I'll do, at least I'm going to connect it to the demo workspace that I have. Okay, and resource mode workspace based is fine. And then I don't need any tag at the moment. I'm just gonna select create and then just create. Let's see what happens. So that should be creating one application inside a resource for me. Okay, so that's now done. I can go to the resource now. So, and again, this is the application inside resource. So the next thing that I need to do, in my local computer, I need to create a file, and this file we are going to run, save the file as hello world.html. So I'm just going to open up my Visual Studio Code, create a new file, and save the file in my downloads folder as hello world html. Save it, and then I'm just gonna copy this and paste it over here and resave. Okay, so over here there is one comment over here, replace with instrumentation key. So let's see what else do we need to do here. So what we need to do, we need to configure the app inside SDK, and the instrumentation key is you're gonna get from there. So once we go to the application inside Blade, we are gonna click on overview essentials. Okay, so come over here, overview, then essentials. Here's your instrumentation key. So if I copy that one, that will copy the instrumentation key for you. So come back over here, and let's see instrumentation key this. So I'm gonna paste it like this. Let's see if that worked. I don't know if it worked or not, so let's just do Control Z. What I'll do, I'm just gonna put it in this line, and let's see instrumentation key, and then instrumentation key, then ingestion point. So it's giving me some more than what I need. So I think I just need this much information only. So let's just do this. So just copy this and put it over here, and see if I need anything else. Okay, so this line I'm going to comment out for now. What happened? There we go. This line I'm going to comment out, and so I just got this portion and paste it over there, the instrumentation key. So let's see, come back over here. It just edit your HTML and add your instrumentation key, and then save the file, and then open this file in a local browser session. This will create a single page view. You can refresh your browser to generate multiple test page views. So what you want to do, let's just go back to our downloads folder and open this file. Okay, so this file is just it has all the code, and it's just creating just opening the file, okay, for you. So let's just go back over here, and it just create a local browser session, and we have already seen this is a single page view. Now we can refresh to generate multiple test page views. So I can refresh this multiple times. Okay, so we'll see what happens next. So come back over here. We're gonna start the monitoring in the Azure portal. That would be the next thing. So let's go back to the application inside and go to the overview page. Okay, application inside and go to the overview page. Let's see, it should bring me back to the this page. Okay, let's see, I don't see any logs in last 1 hour, in last 30 minutes. I still don't see any. So let's see what is going on. When you retrieve your instrumentation key or view details about your currently running applications, the 4 default charts on the overview page is scoped. Since we are instrumenting the client browser side interaction with JavaScript SDK, this particular view doesn't apply unless we also have a server-side SDK installed. So you are not really going to see too much. So click on the logs analytics. In the this opens the logs. So let's just go over here. where am I here, and let's see, where is my log analytics. So again, this one should bring me my log analytics view. Get rid of it, and let's see what are we gonna do. So this one, we are gonna copy this and we're gonna try to run this particular command in here. Okay, so let's see if we can put it here. And this is, by the way, is the Quota query language. So it's doing let time grain is 1 second, let data set is page views, where timestamp greater than 15 minutes ago, where the client type is a browser dataset, summarize your average duration by timestamp, time grain, and extend page view overall. So let's hit run and see what we get. So here again, we don't really get any results at the moment. So let's come back over here. Here you do go back to the overview page, click on performance, and from under the investigate header, here you find metrics related to the performance of your website. So let's see over here. So this one really, although we tried to add stuff, it didn't really register anything, at least as of right now in my logs, and I don't see anything. So if you go to performance, I doubt that you see anything. So here, let's see, average overall, so count is still 0. So view in logs, yeah, count is still 0. So let's see, failures, overall I have no failures, 0 operations. Still it does not have any records at all. That's what it looks like to me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna go and go back to the application insights. I'm gonna copy the whole instrumentation key, go back to my Visual Studio Code, and instead of having this instrumentation key, I'm gonna disable this code, this line of code, and I'm gonna enable this line of code just to see if this is going to be a better one to use. Let's come back over here, refresh a few times, and I'll do another thing. Since I have so many squiggly lines, I want to add it as a text and put it like this and see if that is gonna help us any, and save it again and do some page refresh from here again, and then we go back and do a refresh and leave page and see if it's registering anything back to our portal. Let's see if we are lucky. I still don't see anything really. Yeah, I don't see any results yet. So let's just go back to the logs one more time, get rid of this, and no, not that. I'm gonna copy this one more time, and if this does not work, then okay, now you have a graph. So now things started coming in. So page view, average duration. So now all the refresh and everything that we have done looks like at least that portion is working, and you're starting to get some data back to this portal. All right, let's go back over here. Hopefully you are getting some data as well. So the next thing, we're going to go back to overview, go back to the performance, and from under the investigate header. So let's go back and see performance. We already saw that one. It was somewhere here under the investigate. You have the performance. I can go over there, hit OK. I don't expect to see a whole lot again in here. since still this, okay, this is the server side shouldn't say anything, shouldn't have anything. We gotta go to the browser side, and there we go. So now we are seeing data in here. So that may be something we missed even when we looked at the first time. So we haven't written any server side code. So all the code that we have written, these are browser side code. And so that's why when you come over here, and this is now the data that you're looking at. Okay, so if I refresh, now you have 7 counts. So if I come over here and do some more counts, 3, so I did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so I did a total 7 additional. So if I go back over here and refresh, it will probably be close to 14 in few minutes once it registers my my counts. Okay, so hopefully you have started getting some data, and hopefully everything is working for you. So let's come back over here again. So what we have seen, we have yeah, it looks kind of similar to this one as well. To begin exploring the user behavior analytics tool from the main application, you can go. Okay, so this is another, we can also go to the user. That would be under usage. So let's just come back over here, monitoring usage. So you can go and click on the user. So that will bring up this particular view, and right now it's registered 7 events so far. So let's see what else I need to see. And this one, under the usage, since we are testing from a single machine, we only see data for one user. For a live website, you will see a nice distribution. Like here you have 12k session and 43k events, but since we have only one machine that we're testing, you don't see that much. But this is where you would go to kind of look at the user data and from where they're coming from different countries, and then what kind of operating system they're using to connect to your website and things like that. Even the browser version, you will all of that should show up in in this particular place. So here's the last 24 hours. So so what's going on, session count and everything is everybody's coming from United States, Ubuntu operating system, using Firefox 89.0 is the version of it. So all of that is looks pretty good. Come back over here again, and the last thing that we're gonna look at in this lab is to if we had instrumented a more complex website with multiple pages, there is another useful tool called user flow, and with that feature you can actually track the pathway the visitor takes through the various pages of your website. So you have a larger website, maybe say think about Netflix, you are watching one movie going to another movie through different navigations. So it will track from one page you are going to which other page. So let's just come over here. Let's see, user flow would be that particular slide. So over here we really don't have anything, so we can't set it up, but you can Azure Monitor application inside, you can do a whole bunch of things here to create your graph and kind of view where the initial session started, what is happening as user is moving and navigating through your website. And in a real website it will look something like this particular view that these guys are showing. Okay, so one other thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come back over here and put this code back on comment mode and put this one back on uncomment mode. I just want to make sure which one was correct because there was some confusion about the server and the database. So let's just come back over here one last time, come back to this page. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm pretty sure I clicked at least 7 times again. So let's just go back and go back to overview, make sure we are where are we? We are gonna go to gonna go to, maybe just go to here. Where are we? Okay, here we have more logs. We don't need that much information, so let's go over here again. Performance is where I wanted to go. This is server again, but we're gonna go back to browser and see. So it's still registered only 7. So yeah, it looks like it takes a little bit of time for this to register your counts. So over here again and go back to the browser. Okay, now still says 7, and I want to make sure the time zone is good. I mean the amount of time. Okay, I can do user count. User count should be 1. It just didn't refresh. Session count didn't refresh. Okay, anyway, just play. Yeah, now it's 11. So as I said, it takes a little bit of time. So I think what you should do, keep maybe this portion of the code. You probably don't need to put everything, and just go from there. Alright, so that's all. That's kind of we covered. Again, let's just do a quick review what we did. So we learned about the Azure Monitor, and first we created virtual machine, and we learned how to collect data from the virtual machine into a log analytics workspace. We really created the virtual machine, created a workspace, and then from the workspace we connected to the virtual machine. Now once we did finish both of the work, okay, so that was pretty simple, and then we went to the log analytics workspace again, went to the data and went to the advanced setting and to the data, and then we selected what kind of event logs we want. So there are lots of different options. We selected a few of them, and there are various options what you can collect. So we looked at that, and once the data were collected, we ran some queries and looked at the results, and we didn't have a lot of data because it was not running for a very long time. And then we kind of simulated a website, and we only created a browser side code with JavaScript SDK. And we really, to do that, we just created one application inside resource. We deployed to the same resource group and use a sample HTML file where we added the instrumentation key, which kind of tracks what is going on and sends the data back to the application inside. And this is, since this is client side code, we stayed with the client side, and we kind of tracked what is going on with all of these different actions that we have performed. There are more things that you can do with application insights, and something I would recommend that you kind of explore on your own, like application map, smart detection, live metrics, availability, failures, and a whole bunch of other things. So good luck with this particular lab. Hope you have learned something. If you like the video, please give me a like and subscribe for more. Thank you.